Today's Ramble video idea was sent in once again by a member of our Discord community. It's a two-part question, but I'd like to address the second part as I feel it's more worthwhile for a discussion. The topic at hand is learning to say no, to push back, to handle these situations gracefully and without stirring the pot. Before we get into it, just a humble request to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, really helps with the algorithm and to reach more people. Thanks, and without further ado, let's dive in. The notion of pushing back is a tricky one to master. Especially in the early years of our career, it feels almost impossible to push back when people come to you with requests, good and bad. It's almost as if we feel we haven't earned the right to say no. Like, who am I, an intern E3, E4, to say no to this manager or staff level engineer? By virtue of their level, they must have some power over me, and they can therefore command me around like a general commanding their troops. While it's true that to a certain extent that when we're more junior, we sort of need to just take it on the chin and follow the requests of our seniors, it's not always the case. And like most things in life, learning this nuance and building the muscle of pushing back takes practice and some discomfort. I think we can all recall scenarios when someone has tried to put something on our plate when we were already fully loaded and just felt like we couldn't say no. The feeling of frustration and anger that is directed towards that person as a result of them coming out of the blue and then just adding to our already heavy workload. But what I realized a long time ago is that this anger is misdirected. Ultimately, if we truly examine the root of our feelings when we feel that someone has steamrolled us, the anger is not really with that person, it's actually with ourselves. That we didn't stand up for ourselves, that we knew that we couldn't and shouldn't take this extra work, but we didn't have the backbone to say something about it. A mentor of mine once gave me a piece of advice, and it's stuck with me ever since. If you allow yourself to be a doormat, then don't be surprised or mad when people walk all over you. And truer words have not been spoken. If you give people the opportunity to outsource work to you that they realistically should be doing themselves, or if you can't develop the spine to say no when you need to, then you really only have yourself to be mad at. The world isn't going to stop doing these things. People aren't going to suddenly develop the self-awareness to realize that they shouldn't be dropping more work on your plate, that none of this is your concern. All of that will remain constant. The only choice here is whether you continue to allow it. And I understand it's hard. People have a natural aversion to conflict, especially software engineers, who, let's be honest, in general are not really the chest puffed out, take no bullshit alpha male types. It's especially worse when you're on a work visa. The feeling of potentially getting a bad rating or even worse, getting fired and deported could be a potential consequence of pushing back. But all of this is ridiculous. Eventually, you need to learn to say no. You can't go through your career taking every random thing that comes your way. I can't really give you a repeatable action plan for how to get over the fear of pushing back. Everyone is different and everyone's tolerance for what they can or do is different. But I can provide some high-level advice to arm yourself with some tools for pushing back. First and foremost, it's important to realize that people are much more understanding than you think in your head. When someone proposes something to you and maybe you don't think it's a good idea or you just don't have the bandwidth, being upfront and honest usually ends it right then and there. Leading people on and giving the impression that you might possibly look into this one perhaps, that's where the trouble starts. If you nip it in the bud from the outset, that usually ends it. Of course, there is always nuance. If it's a P0 ask coming from leadership and you realistically are the best owner for it, then you really don't have much wiggle room. Drop what you're doing and go fight that fire. People will remember your contribution when performance evaluation time comes. But if someone tries to spring some frankly BS project or assignment on you and it really is not something that you have time for, then just reject it. Of course, do it politely, explain that you don't have the bandwidth or that your team is currently only focusing on some P0 project. Then maybe in the future you can touch base on it and re-examine. That maybe you can suggest another contact to discuss with, but deflect it, do it gently, and don't be too pushy. With this, most people tend to understand and will be happy to just leave it there. I know it's scary at first, especially when an ask comes from those who are much more senior, but use your best judgment, of course. Is it work that you realistically should be taking on? Is there potentially a benefit to this work? Can I learn something, maybe foster a relationship, or get something out of it for my trouble? Keep these things in mind and weigh up whether or not to agree. Ultimately, if you agree, it should be because you deem it worthwhile use of your time, not because you're strong-armed into it. The second point I want to touch on is a bit of a deferral tactic. I don't know about you, but when I was a junior, I developed a really bad habit when it came to taking on new work. If it was something that I was genuinely interested in, I would dive into it head first. I would start thinking about the potential implementations, how to flesh out the design right away. The problem with this was that I saw this new flashy project being dangled before my eyes and I wanted to bite right away. But what I should have done is taken the time to slow down and better understand the problem, understand the requirements, potential challenges, and whatnot. I was so eager to execute that I would often rush into projects and then later realize the complexity of the work that I had taken on. I hadn't thought this through, and there was a lot of edge cases, and as a result, I had to push back timelines or reduce the scope in order to accommodate. What I learned here is that when new work is presented, it's always a good idea to never agree straight away. In the previous section, we talked about declining work, but we should also develop the muscle of being able to properly understand and scope out the work that we're taking on. The rationale here is that we don't want to get roped into a project or proposal that isn't fleshed out or is just too difficult to implement. A lot of the time, when people come to us with project ideas, it's because perhaps we are the best person to take on that work, but that doesn't necessarily mean the idea itself is any good. We might be a domain expert and this project is right up our alley, but it can still be a pain in the ass to accomplish. It's important to be able to push back on proposals and make sure that the requirements or expectations are adjusted according to your best judgments before agreeing to actually take something on. You never want to be on the hook for other people's vision or requirements, especially when these aren't always what is technically feasible or straightforward to implement. It's our job to have a back and forth, to scope out a problem before starting a project. Otherwise, we'll just end up frustrated as the requirements need to shift down the line and customers are upset that timelines and deliverables are delayed. Don't just agree to projects outright when they're presented to you. Make sure you push back on the parts that you don't agree with. Propose new ideas for the design or the architecture where applicable. Don't think that just because someone more senior drops something on your plate that they have thought of everything ahead of time and that everything is already scoped out. Perhaps this can be true for interns in E3 where they're just getting work from someone more senior, but it's generally an anti-pattern to just take things at face value and not make any adjustments based on your experience or intuition. Again, this doesn't need to be a confrontational thing. It's a technical dialogue between you and the other party. You're collaborating together on a shared goal and behave as such. The last item I want to quickly touch on is the art of actually doing nothing. When you work at a large company, you'll be bombarded with work chats, emails, tasks, etc. People constantly try to take away your attention, focus, and time. Things are always going to come up. Someone will message you out of the blue, someone will file a task for you to do something despite you having absolutely no idea who they are. These things are unavoidable. One skill you also need to develop is the ability to just ignore the noise. As a general rule of life, if something is important enough, then people will follow up on it. If someone pings you about something, you don't reply, and then they never message you again, chances are it wasn't important. If someone requested some feature and 3 months later they still haven't mentioned it again, then it wasn't a good use of your time. If something falls into your lap and your initial reaction is WTF is this, then likely your intuition is correct. Ignore it. Let it sit on the back burner. If someone starts following up or pestering, then maybe have a second look. But don't feel that every message, every task, every request needs to be handled right away and that you have to action on it. Frankly, there isn't enough time in the day for you to action on everything that comes your way. Learn to discern what is important and what you can just ignore. If it never comes up again, then it was never worth your time in the first place. And with that, I think I've made my piece on this topic. The main takeaway here is that learning to push back is a skill that one must develop as they progress in their career. It's impossible to rise through the ranks and think that you're going to avoid conflicts and disagreements with fellow engineers and leadership. There will always come a time where you need to stand up for yourself, your ideas, and your designs. The sooner you can learn to do this, the better. Of course, always do it respectfully and with the goal of a successful collaboration. But have a spine. Don't allow yourself to be walked all over. People fall into the trap of thinking that if they say no or if they disagree, that people won't like you or it will affect you negatively in performance evaluations. But quite the opposite is the case. People actually respect you less. They take advantage of you, and if you're senior enough, your managers will give you the feedback that you waste your time on things that you shouldn't be dealing with. Be firm, but also not belligerent. People respect when you have boundaries and you actually stand up for them. It's a hard muscle to build, but it's absolutely essential that you do. That's all for today's Sweet Ramble video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.